All right, guys, let's talk about wheel sockets. So you have your standard. Oh, wow. Damn, I just noticed that's coming off. I just got this warranty too. Side note, you got your standard, just sleeve, 21 mil. This one's a Mac. This is a Coken. Really like this design. Removable sleeves. It's not a torque stick, not an extension. It's just kind of thinner. You can get it into different wheels. Then I got these guys. These are snap-on wheel sockets, and I partially bought them because I was curious about them. Like, what makes them different than like this guy? This is my 21 deep well half-inch impact. Well, here's my 21, I believe. My 21 wheel socket. Now, size-wise, they're about the same, about the same size. But if you look at the hex inside, this one is very much increased versus that one. A little broaching inside. That's one thing Snap-on does really well is they have shallow broaching, so nuts, bolts don't fall into the socket. But the wheel socket, I later found out, is designed to go further onto the cap to prevent damage to those decorative caps, or at least in theory, that's what it is. I've used these quite a bit. Haven't used them enough to tell you if they for sure don't damage them, but I'm really hoping they do, because it was like $200 for freaking wheel sockets, but here we are. This is another version of a 22 wheel socket. Little bit increased hex, not too much. But, look at it compared to the 22 wheel socket. This one's also thin wall, I should note. Much thinner. So, something to note on that. However, the Mac one, now this is the upgraded Mac one, not the cheap one that comes in this tray over here. Because I broke that one. I waited for 8 months, and my Mac guy finally just gave me this one and said, here, I know you're tired of waiting. Here you go. Now, this guy is actually a Craftsman. I bought this at Lowe's for like 25 bucks to have at the house just in case I need a wheel socket or whatever. Pretty crazy. The Macs that I have is the same. Blue, green, red, 17, 19, 21. Looks identical. Got the little plastic insert that's crap that always falls out. It's got these sleeves. These really aren't used because they're at home, so I can't just pull the sleeves off. But, everything is identical to the Mac one, like down to the case. This says Craftsman, the Mac one says Mac. That's about it, and you got some font differences. Who really gives a shit about font? So, save yourself some coin. Mac ones are almost 100 bucks, I think, last time I checked. I don't remember. I've had them for a while. These are like 25 bucks at Lowe's. Buy these. They do the job. Now, these are from VIM. Just got these in. They're called the Rapid Load wheel socket. I was messaging VIM, and I was kind of curious. I'm like, what makes them rapid load, So let's take a 21 that's not been used, because for some reason Snap-on has super soft impacts. So this is a couple uses, and you already see the rounding from the impact wrench. So here's the Craftsman. Square drive, half inch, whatever. Here's a VIM. It's got these little notches in here, and from what I was told, rapid load. So you take your half inch, and you should be able to just, any position, slide them on. That's this whole, you're not perfectly square. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. You're not perfectly square, but that rapid load lets you hit those corners and just shove it on there. So I'm hoping these are gonna be really well. I said they're like 55 bucks. They're not terribly expensive. Green foam, as you all know, I love the green. So hoping to put these to a lot of use when I get back to the shop. I'm still on vacation. Now this one is interesting. This is a Astronomic. It is called a flank bite, I think. Don't quote me on that. And it's designed for messed up lugs. I read somewhere that you can use it on a good lug. Don't quote me on that. I haven't tried it. I don't want to take the chance. I have all these other options, but these work tremendously well for damaged lugs. I have the Mac, I think it is, the spiral flute lug nut extractor thing. Basically, it looks like a flip socket with two sides. That thing works, but you really gotta hammer that bitch in there. This guy, you hammer this on a little bit, it bites in, it gets them off. I really like these for damaged lugs and extraction. So there's a 4-5 piece set. I don't remember what it is. It's at the shop. They're inexpensive. They're under $100. Now the Coken. Coken stuff, hands down, high quality. The wheel socket, same thing, high quality. I like that they're designed to have these on and off. I ran into a 2022 Ford Bronco, aftermarket wheels. My 17 didn't fit because I couldn't get the sleeve off. So these being designed to take the sleeve off, it's really nice. My apprentice has some Matco ones, I think. Something that the sleeve comes off, I had to use those. So that's super nice. And these, I know they're not a torque stick, but having this little extension built in helps limit how much power you can put on this, on or off. Granted, if it's over tight, over torque, I mean, sometimes these don't get the job done. Yes, you can just get a bigger impact, give it all the beans, whatever, but dude, lug nuts are not supposed to be over torqued. I mean, I haven't ever put a lug nut on in my career that's more than 165 foot-pounds. That was on an F350 dually. I mean, Mustangs are 150, F-150s are 150. Hell, there's Toyota that's 154, steel wheels on a Tundra. Other than that, there is no Toyota that is above 97 foot-pounds, which is what a Tundra is. So, I mean, any of these should work just fine, but people who like to use the Ugga gun, slam them on there, well, what are you going to do? So, actually, I don't know if these sleeves come off either. These sleeves come off pretty easy, it looks like. I don't know if they're designed to, but that could be a good feature. I know Matco, I have a 21 Matco as well while I was waiting on the warranty for this guy. You can replace just the sleeve, so that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people replace the whole socket when the sleeve comes off, but if you can just get a replacement sleeve, I mean, there's no point to replace the socket unless it's cracked. Like this Mac one, I mean, I'm not gonna make my guy warranty it over a sleeve. It's just a freaking sleeve. I know that's what makes it a wheel socket, but again, I have other options. Now, I will say the cheaper Mac one, which is basically this Craftsman one, I cracked that thing twice. So that's kind of that kind of sucks. Oh, I see why it's coming off. You can see right there that I cracked the plastic. Again, cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Any other recommendations for wheel sockets? I'd love to see them. Again, I do this for y'all. I buy a lot of tools. I use a lot of tools, a lot of different variety. It's kind of like a hobby for me as well as my career. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, drop your recommendations below.